Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your July 2016 love reading. It's raining here, shuffling the cards. I seem to be giving full disclosures out tonight. For you and me, since I'm a Sag, Sun Sag, I'm doing this reading over again. I actually only got 2 minutes into it yesterday before I had to stop the tape from rolling. And I was going to go back to it, but then I'd have to reconstruct the cards I picked. And you know, I just don't feel that right now. So I'm just going to do everything over again. It's all good. You know, we sometimes cling to the external part of things, like the all the little the tools rather than the messages they bring. So that to me is the most important thing. Funny. Well, actually, it's very interesting, to tell you the truth. Okay. And I will, you know, that outcome card is kind of hidden from view, but then if I turn it, it's a Page of Cups. I'll show it, you know, when it comes time. So the overall energy in July is the Tower card in reverse. This is one of the reverse cards that is actually better than the upright position. And it simply means that you have recovered from a shocking revelation or event. In order to gain more clarity, I can look at this card, which is the Seven of Cups in reverse. And ironically, this is about gaining more clarity. This is about you cutting through maybe some illusion that was swirling around your relationship. It could be specifically with a water sign individual. It could be with a Cancer or a Scorpio or a Pisces. Maybe you were naive about a situation and you believed lies, and it suddenly dawns on you that this is the case. Maybe you find out something and it's a shock, but now you're in the state where you're kind of in the acceptance mode. I wanted to just say something about the astrological transits, because if you are listening to this before June 20th, we are having our second of 2 full moons that's occurring on the summer solstice or winter solstice for you Aussies and other people in the southern hemisphere, on the 20th at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. So anytime you have a full moon, it means the sun is in opposition to it. So that would mean that at the time of the full moon, the sun is at 29 degrees of Gemini. And this is the 7th house of relationships. So it is possible that there is something that you will discover that, you know, maybe was hazy and it is shocking at first. But maybe at the time of the full moon, this is when this happens. Maybe that's when you become aware of it. And because the full moon is happening in the 1st house, it may be that it's a revelation you have about yourself. Maybe you say to yourself, you know, I am too gullible. I see what I want to see, and that's not good for me because I'm doing this over and over and over again, and I want to put a stop to it. Let me look at the higher perspective. The higher perspective is the Hierophant card. Now, this is, I was just thinking about this card today. I'm always going to mention this because this kind of gets to me. The Hierophant card is actually associated with Taurus. So maybe a Taurus person fits in somehow. But what I wanted to say about the Hierophant card is that it's associated with, religious clergy people. Or is that, redundant? And it's also associated with higher learning. Well, that's automatically the 9th house in astrology. And that's the house that Sagittarius rules. So how it's Taurus, on what planet it's Taurus, I have no idea. In one book that I was referencing, they actually had one of the people that attributed planets to various major arcana cards that, mentioned, and signs that said that they did attribute it to Sagittarius, and I tend to agree with that. But anyway, what this can mean is that some of you may have been in a cycle of picking unsuitable partners because you really don't want to put a ring on it and make it official. Speaking as a fellow Sagittarian, we love freedom. And sometimes people who are kind of torn between different things, and that's what this card is, all these choices, can get a little bit confused about what they really want. And they unconsciously are drawn to people that they can never marry or make a commitment to because they don't want to make a commitment with anyone. And then they can blame it on the other person. So that could be what was happening. The other thing I think that is possible is that perhaps there is a situation happening where you were being too into convention. And you were trying to be the perfect wife or the perfect husband. And it didn't work out, The Hierophant card, I consider to be a card of going with the program. And the program being, doing everything, quote unquote, by the book. So you don't live with somebody, you get married. You don't quit college, you get a degree. All these things that society tells us we're supposed to do. And sometimes there's excessive conformity associated with doing these things. And Sagittarius, we are natural rebels. And so we weren't designed to go along with the program. We are supposed to be the sages, sage. And so people are supposed to come to us to navigate life. And if we are too afraid of stepping out in our truth, and we're all about truth, and we conform to others' expectations too often, we can lose ourselves. And then what good are we to other people? Because we have a special mission. So that may have been what doomed a relationship. Maybe you were with the wrong person and there was just too much conforming to something that you didn't really believe inside. Just going along to get along. It can also relate to fear of commitment. Maybe the other person feared commitment, maybe you did. And as I said, sometimes people unconsciously do things because they really don't want what they claim they want. The energy that crosses you at this time is the Four of Swords. Now, I really like the Four of Swords because this is about rejuvenation and, resting and kind of, recuperating from, well, look at it. Recuperating from a real draining situation. If it is crossing you, then I'm reading it in the reversed position. And in the reversed position, the Four of Swords is about getting back into the fray. So the challenge for you will be to do that because you may feel drained. You may feel like you don't want to be around other people, or you want to just kick back and take it easy. And that, I think that that's perfectly fine. It's just finding that proper balance. You know, I'm thinking also about Mars being in retrograde. And at the very end of June, it goes direct. So it still is in Scorpio as the month begins, but when it goes back into Sagittarius, we should start to feel much more energized, because, you know, in Scorpio, it's in the 12th house. So it will create a lot of kind of pent-up energy. And so this may be kind of just saying that, you know, the Mars in the 12th house is creating inner tension, but it's just temporary. The energy you have in your favor at this time is the Two of Wands. Wands are fire signs. So this is about your expansive nature and being able to see beyond whatever has transpired and seeing a better future and looking beyond your immediate environs. Maybe you're thinking about moving. You could also be choosing between two situations or two people. Maybe this is something to do with you. Maybe you were the one who got busted. And now you have to make the decision of what you're going to do. But when you can look at it from an expansive point of view, then you're in a good place, because Sagittarius is supposed to be looking at the bigger picture, and it's supposed to always be looking at greener pastures and not just kind of staying stagnant wherever they are. The advice is the Ace of Wands. So yeah, I think there is a beginning. Maybe you will choose, and you'll choose somebody who happens to be a fellow fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, or a fellow Sagittarius. Maybe you're just starting a new business, or starting a new creative project, or starting a new affair, and it's bringing you into a place of passion, and you're feeling alive again. So maybe, you know, on the top level, we're looking at recovering from something, and then at the bottom level, we're looking at expanding, stepping out from where you are, and moving on. And it's a very positive card, the Ace of Wands. Indicates a lot of passion, a lot of excitement. The outcome is the Page of Cups. So this is, you know, very sensitive energy. This is the energy of someone who is in a very innocent frame of mind, very receptive, very creative, very psychic. It can speak of somebody who is an artist. Maybe this is the person that you are going towards. Maybe you make your decision. Could be a water sign. It could be a water sign. So it could be that a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You know, there's the fish jumping out of here, so I'm thinking, is this Pisces specifically? But definitely artistic, psychic, somewhat gullible, somewhat naive. Maybe it's just you in that initial stage of love, which it can represent, since it's a page, it's a fresh energy. Sometimes pages refer to children. They can also refer to a message that you get. And maybe you get a message that is a love message. And it's a heartfelt message. Maybe there is somebody, maybe you are estranged from a water sign. Maybe that's why it's in reverse, because you're having problems with the water sign individual. And that person reaches out to you again. Maybe they did betray you. And maybe you had an affair to try to get over it, and then that person contacts you again. That's always a possibility. So it's very interesting. There seems to be a lot going on. I don't expect all the cards to resonate for you, but maybe some of them did. If you'd like a personal reading, Sag, just click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great July. Bye.